Hey guys, welcome back to the Weekly Fury. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. Josh, as always, and this week with me live, all the way from Austin, I got Sean with me. What's up, Sean?
What's up, Josh?
Came all the way up here just to record a video with me.
Feels good not to have to stare at a screen. While we play these.
Yeah, well, glad that you're here, man. We get to do this live for the first time since we started making these videos, and let's see how it goes. Hopefully, you don't fuck it up.
No promises.
Oh,
no
okay.
guarantees.
Well,
we can always edit it out, though.
No, I'm gonna leave it in. Absolutely. All right.
Awesome.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, our first topic of today is we're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving Day football. I mean, that's just the staple of Thanksgiving. As I've gotten older, that's more of about what Thanksgiving has been about.
You eat food and watch football.
Football is number one. And then eating, of course, makes it all better. But yesterday we had 3 games. The early game was the Lions and Vikings.
Yep.
And
we're both right on that one.
Yep. And the Lions, they destroyed. Well, they didn't destroy.
They did what they usually do.
Yeah.
Comeback kids. They let Vikings take the lead just so they can, come back and win it.
Yeah. At no point did I think the Lions were in trouble.
No,
because the Vikings have just been terrible at closing out games. They've just been terrible lately for the past 5 weeks.
It's so disappointing.
And Matthew Stafford, I think he's an MVP candidate for me. Yeah. And I just didn't think it was going to be an issue for them to come back and win this game.
No.
The only thing I did have an issue with was Eric Ebron, the tight end. I had him in fantasy, and for some reason, he only had 1 target the entire game, and he ended up with 0 catches, which I thought was just crazy.
I thought you were going to murder someone, Josh, and I was the only one in the room.
I was about to ruin Thanksgiving for everybody.
Yeah.
But still, it's okay, because what happened later on that night was made it up. But so Matthew Stafford continues to impress, while the Vikings continue to disappoint. Next game was Dallas Cowboys and Redskins, division rivals. Cowboys looking to go 10-1.
They did go 10-1.
Okay, and the Redskins were looking to stop the red hot Dallas Mavericks. And
Dallas Cowboys,
because the Redskins have been looking. Dallas Mavericks.
It's been a long day, guys.
And now I'm fucking it up. But the Redskins They were looking to beat the Cowboys. I mean, I thought they could have had a chance. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to completely just destroy the Redskins, because the Redskins have been flying on the radar the whole year. I thought they've been doing pretty good. But they've had some injuries, especially to Deshaun Jackson and shit, man, Jordan Reed. When he left the game, I was like, here we go again.
A separated shoulder or torn? He had something right with his shoulder.
Yeah, I thought Jordan Reed's gonna be gone again. And
I was kind of glad when he left, because I was like, man, I was afraid of their offense. The offense can keep up, and our defense is depleted right now. So, especially in the secondary. But he came back. He put up 2 touchdowns.
Came back with fury.
Yeah,
a sports fury. Yeah. So, but anyway, but damn.
Yeah.
I mean, business as usual for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott doing his thing. Ezekiel Elliott looking like probably the best player in the NFL. He just completely torched those guys.
Look good, man. I'm happy right now.
The Redskins.
Hey, they did come back.
Now there was a little bit of issue in the first half. The sun was directly in their eyes, and I thought that probably had something to do with why they missed a couple of field goals. Because if they didn't miss a couple of field goals, we're talking about maybe overtime.
Yeah,
and that would have been great. But
it could have. But
that's how good Redskins are. I think they're just not getting enough respect and due. And the season's not over yet. And even though the Cowboys are just, they're 10-1 and they're just destroying. Yeah. Redskins and Giants and even the Eagles are not that far behind. Just a few losses for the Dallas Cowboys, and you guys might be in trouble.
Well, let's not talk stupid here. Now, every team in the division has a chance to make the playoffs as a wild card. Dallas, there's no way. And there's no way they'll catch up.
Dallas, there's no way Dallas to catch up?
No, them to catch up to Dallas.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's calm down. But no, that's what's going to be tough about our division. Redskins, that was a great game. They did come back. They're only down by, I think, 6, right?
Yeah.
Or 5. 5.
Kirk Cousins, man. That dude is... He's been so impressive this year. Contract year.
You think he's going to make that money?
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, all those yards and touchdowns, and he's just been so damn efficient.
I'm excited.
I mean, he's right up. I mean, he's damn near. He's up there with I think Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford this year. These three guys really came in this year and just torched it. They took some of Aaron Rodgers of mojo, and they just they're torching right now because Aaron Rodgers, they're looking like shit.
Aaron Rodgers isn't looking like shit. It's just the overall result.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a lot to talk about on that. And we talked about that last week. But
Kirk Cousins looks good.
He looks good. And I'm excited as a Cowboys fan. I know this sounds weird, but I'm so excited because we have such good matchups for the next, 5-10 years. Carson Wentz with the Eagles. Kirk Cousins with the Redskins. Eli, he's still playing. He hasn't missed a game since he started playing. With the Giants, we have great quarterbacks for every team now, and I'm excited going forward. We have a lot of rivalry games for years.
But it was a good game. It was the best game of the night.
Yeah.
Cowboys defeat the Redskins, and there was a little bit of controversy in that game. We'll get to that later. But anyway, heading into the night game, the Steelers and Colts. I mean, I don't think even... Yeah. I think a lot of people didn't even probably watch this game because everybody knew with Andrew Luck out, with T.Y. Hilton going into this game limping.
Man.
I mean, and during the game, they completely lost T.Y. Hilton. They lost Vontae Davis. Steelers, I mean, Antonio Brown scores 2 touchdowns.
He scored 3.
He scored 2 touchdowns early.
Oh, okay.
Barely going into the second quarter, he already had 2 touchdowns, and he ends up finishing with 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Second time he's ever done that in his whole career.
Yeah.
But that's just. But see, some people are thinking that even though the Colts were still so depleted, like the Steelers didn't really impress that much, despite the fact that what they were going up against, they should have completely and utterly destroyed them. And they kind of did.
They're right. People are right. I think the people are right though, because technically, if you watch the game, Colts had 3 goal on the 1 yard line, goal to go, and they didn't punch it in. I think they went for it on 4th and goal all 3 times. I think 3 times.
They went for it on 4th down a lot, but they did go for it. A couple of times in the end zone.
Yeah.
We're right there. I don't know why they didn't just go Gore. He's a future Hall of Famer. If you're going to go for it on 4 downs, out of that whole roster that was right there with T.Y. Hilton hurt, I'm running it with Frank Gore. 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. If Frank Gore can't get it for you there, then at least you say I gave it my best chance, because I thought Frank Gore was their best player, but they barely used him, and he couldn't really get anything going. Everybody, and
I thought he was going to do good. I picked him up in daily fantasy, and he didn't do shit for me. A little disappointed.
The guy that was playing me in fantasy, he had Frank Gore, and so that worked out for me. But I think but anyway, the best 2 things out of that game was Antonio Brown scoring 3 touchdowns for me in fantasy. So I'm still looking good, even though Ebron gave me a goose egg. Antonio Brown completely made up for that with those touchdowns.
He did.
And their punter, McAfee.
He had the best pass of the day.
He had the best pass of the game
for the Colts.
And he's a hilarious dude. I love watching the Colts.
Did that strut.
Yeah, he was doing the Conor McGregor strut. And
that was probably the best.
I love that dude, man. He's probably him and the Oakland Raiders punter. They always doing something.
Marquise King or something like that.
Yeah. Every time you see them on the field, keep your eyes on them. They're always up to something. They're doing something fun. They're having fun. Yeah, and that's what football's supposed to be.
I will say this though. This Thursday, I heard them talking about it during the game that this was the first Thanksgiving games. Every team was at least 500, and I thought every game would have been a great game. The first game was a good game. It came down to the wire. Cowboys game came down to the wire. If the Colts could have came down to the wire for Andrew Luck was there, man, that's the only thing that disappointed me about these games.
If Andrew Luck would have been playing, it would have been much better.
I would have probably picked the Colts, honestly, if Andrew Luck was playing.
I don't know.
You're in love with the Steelers, so
I'm going with Big Ben, Brown, Le'Veon Bell. But Thursday, ranking this year's Thursday football, I'd give it 7 out of 10 for this year.
I'll give it a little bit higher than that. I give it an 8 out of 10 because even though the Colts did get beat, like, they made it interesting. They could have been in the game with just 2 or 3 plays. That's it.
But, okay, so let's talk next about the controversy from the Redskins and Cowboys game. Josh Norman and Dez Bryant, they were going at it the entire game. A lot of talking shit back and forth. A lot of
trash talk.
A lot of them putting their hands on each other. Even Josh Norman having some words with Jason Garrett. What'd you think about all that, man?
Well,
I mean, shit.
You know, Josh.
Do you hate Josh Norman?
I don't hate him. He's annoying, but I don't hate him. I don't mind trash talk. I love it. You know, you got to have that player that's going to get in the other players' faces and stuff like that. I thought it was good. You know, one of the best corners, one of the best receivers going at it, and it was great. Now, I don't like what Josh Norman did to my great player. You know, holding down his ankle, kind of twisting it when he was on the ground, pushing him out of nowhere. And I just don't like it. Like, there's a point where after the play, during the play, let it all out. But there's points where you got to draw the line, and I don't know. I know there's a lot of emotion with Josh Norman. He wears it on his sleeve. That's how he plays, and that's why he's so good. Dez is the same way, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't criticize him for it when it makes him who he is. That's tough.
Josh Norman versus Dez was the best matchup I was looking forward to Thursday night. The Thursday games. Josh Norman versus Dez, and Dez won.
Yeah, I would say.
He had 72 yards.
Yeah,
receiving, no touchdowns.
Yeah,
but
I know you're happy about that.
But you know what? I think Josh Norman's lucky he didn't get flagged. He should have been flagged for so many plays, maybe even ejected for that. Because didn't he grab Dez Bryant and twist his leg or something?
Yeah. And that pissed me off, dude.
Yeah, you could really fucking hurt somebody like that. I can't stand when players play. It's one thing to be competitive and like talk shit to each other and even
pushing them or something like that, get in their face.
Being a heated rival, that's cool. But when you're like, I want to hurt you, you're a little fucked up, and you can go fuck yourself, Josh Norman. Really, I'm not a Cowboys fan like you are. But you know what? If I were you, I would really be pissed off at Josh Norman, and I would go so far as to say I hate him because he tried to legitimately hurt your star receiver, Dez Bryant. And you know what? He'll probably get fines from the league here.
I'm surprised he didn't get flags thrown, dude. Like you said, you're right. I am mad about it, but I understand there's going to be a lot of emotion in it.
Is he immature?
So who?
Josh Norman. Did you say he's immature?
I think so.
I think so.
You got to remember, this is his second year in the spotlight, like pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Look. He'll learn.
I mean, coming into the NFC East, you got Dez Bryant, you got Odell Beckham that you're going to be playing between them both 4 times a year. And, you know, I don't know. I think he's going to get more immature as the spotlight's even brighter on him, especially playing Dez twice, playing Odell twice. I'm looking forward to their next matchup. Hopefully he actually plays right and doesn't try to hurt Dez
we won't see that until next year.
Oh, they already played twice?
We played in week 2.
Fuck, I completely forgot about that shit. And
that's why I'm here, Josh. I got you.
So maybe they will play in the playoffs. And no, Josh Norman, go fuck him. Go fuck yourself, Josh Norman. Anyway, so another team from the Thursday games, Sam Bradford. He was traded to the Vikings right before the season started. Mm-hmm. At the time, people questioned him. Were like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was just completely shocked everybody.
Yeah. And
then about 3 weeks in, everybody was like, you know what? This looks pretty genius. And then they go 5-0, and everyone was like, Mike Zimmer, awesome. I mean, just great job. Sam Bradford, you know, he looks so revitalized, and
I said their GM was the GM of the year.
GM of the year. I think I did. No, I did. I said Jerry Jones.
You picked Jerry Jones.
So, you know what? And it was at the time it wasn't wrong. They did look all great. Sam Bradford was feeding Stephon Diggs like crazy, and they were just looking, just clicking on all cylinders. Defense was amazing, and the offense looked pretty damn good. Now, flash forward to going into after finishing their Week 12. Do you think the Vikings, looking back at it now, regret making that trade for Sam Bradford?
I wouldn't say they regret it, because if you look at his stats, he's still been playing really good. He's not turning over the ball that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what he's not throwing the ball down the field enough, and big reason why is they have no offensive line to do so. So
yeah,
I wouldn't really say that that it's a bad trade. He's still done good.
Yeah.
If you look at his actual stats, but he just can't do enough with that offensive line. Both starting tackles are out.
Yeah.
What can you do when you have no protection?
And the running game is just so mediocre at best.
God, yes, dude.
Between Jarrett McKinnon and Matt Asiata, I mean
they're just as bad as Jacksonville.
You know what? And I kind of like when AP went down that first time with ACL, and they went with Jarrett McKinnon and Matt Asiata, they should have really asked themselves after that offseason, okay, what are we going to do if AP goes down again? Because he was coming back from an ACL injury, and even AP, even though it's AP, they still should have questioned themselves and like, let's get a legitimate backup, because even if he does look great coming back from his ACL, and he did,
God.
But they should have asked themselves, like, okay, if this happens again, he's getting older. He's not getting younger. And running backs in this NFL, they don't last very long. Even the great ones, they don't last very long. They should have invested into for a running back. And there were a lot of great running backs that they could have got late in rounds and drafts had they put that investment in there. Because their running game looks like shit without AP.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs, he's not getting the ball. I mean, Sam Bradford's not really having the time to get
Stephon Diggs didn't even play this past week.
And then he gets hurt.
Yeah. He's nicked up.
All they got is Rudolph?
Kyle Rudolph.
And then Cordell Patterson. They have to really rely on him now.
He's been doing pretty
trying
decent.
to get returns for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. And they've been trying to integrate him more in the offense, so we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully their offense line gets better, because I think they'll be a lot better.
I think if they miss the playoffs, they certainly will regret that trade. Because it'll be a season for naught if they don't make the playoffs.
Man, they did trade away the first-round pick, and that's going to be a good pick now for the other team.
Yep. Eagles are laughing all the way to the... They're just laughing all the way,
Eagles are looking good right now.
Another team that's looking really good. The Detroit Lions. I don't know how many comeback wins they can keep winning this year. They have how many comeback wins?
Every game that they've won has been a comeback. Every game they've been in, they have been down in the fourth quarter.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's hard to say, because it's good to get that experience, but it's bad because eventually when you play a good team that can close out a game,
you may not get that.
You're not going to have that opportunity. I'm just saying, Dallas, Oakland, Seattle. These I know Oakland's not in the division, but these teams that can close out games, you're not going to have that opportunity to go down the field and score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, because they're going to be scoring touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Now, what can they do? Because right now they're number 1 in the division. They're number 1 in the division. They last place is Chicago, and then it's Green Bay, and then Minnesota, and then Detroit. I think Detroit's looking pretty good right now. I think they hold on to that division lead, and they go into the playoffs. And going into the playoffs, which is right around the corner, what adjustments do they need to make to be more consistent and not having to rely on, okay, let's make another comeback? What do they got to do to adjust?
Oh, man.
I would say it starts with the running game.
That's what I was just about to bring up, their running game. Because even this past week, I think, who they have? Theo Riddick only had 45 yards rushing. Washington didn't even do that great. I think they're bottom 5 in running right now, rushing per game. And that's a big reason they're down. If you cannot sustain drives, you're not going to be able to sustain a lead to me. So it's going to be tough.
I think Theo Riddick, sometimes he looks good and sometimes he looks terrible. I think with Theo Riddick, they just not rush as much. but give him passes, like screen passes, dump offs. I think
he's great out of the backfield.
As he's better at catching. He's a better catching running back than he is at hitting going right up the middle. He's not that guy. No. And Dwayne Washington is it Dwayne Washington? DeAndre Washington. I think. Dwayne.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Man.
Washington.
D. Washington.
We'll just go with Washington.
D. Washington. He's not the answer at all.
No.
Shit, they might as well just go fucking find wherever Joke Bell is, whatever team he's on, or whatever fucking mall.
Go pick up Niles Davis. Where's Niles Davis?
Yeah, Niles Davis. He needs another. He's trying to.
Didn't he go back? Didn't he go back to the Chiefs?
Yeah, he went back to the Chiefs.
Oh Lord.
But they got to get something with going with the running game.
Yeah.
They need to pass the ball more to Eric Ebron. He's their biggest. Guy, he's the biggest guy they have passing the ball.
They do need to get a big receiver, man. They don't have any big receivers. Besides Ebron, I know, but I'm talking about like a receiver. They don't have a big one, man. They don't have a guy that can go up.
Maybe they'll be in the market next year for Alshon Jeffrey.
Maybe,
because he's certainly not going to be there. As we talked about before on the show,
he's going to get out.
But Detroit Lions, they're looking good. Yeah. Matthew Stafford's really impressing me, but
MVP candidate.
I think it more concerns me that they're having to come back and make these wins as opposed to be more impressed by that. Because right now it's fun and it's cool, but as it gets closer to the end of the season and going into the playoffs, it's like, okay, you really got to get your shit together and start being more consistent from quarter 1 to quarter 4.
Yeah.
And that concerns me about them. And we'll see if they can
see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
But someone who's been greatly consistent all year, I mean, right out the gate, straight from college into the NFL, Ezekiel Elliott, the number 4 overall pick for the Dallas Cowboys. We've talked about the Cowboys so much this year because, I mean, they're the best team right now in the NFL. Best record. Ezekiel Elliott.
So good.
LeBron James says that Ezekiel Elliott is the rookie of the year and the MVP of the year. And what do you think? Is he both? Is he actually both?
I'd say yes. Now, are we talking about will he win the MVP?
No, he's not.
He won't. He won't. Rookies will not win the MVP. No way, hands down. But yes, I think he's been phenomenal. He hits that hole, man. He always picks up 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s. He's great at that. He's leading the league in rushing, and he looks phenomenal.
He's doing it all.
He looks great. Even out the backfield catching the ball, he had a good couple plays, man, and I'm excited about. Oh my god, I'm so pumped. Okay, I can go on and on.
But okay, so
I'm excited.
We know they're not going to give rookies in the NFL are just not going to win an MVP award. It's just not going to happen. They're not
should.
The rookie the way the NFL sees it, I think, is the best thing a rookie can win is Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
They're not going to win the MVP. That's going to go to somebody else. You know, it's going to go to a Tom Brady. It's going to go to an established guy. It's not going to go to a rookie.
Derek Carr.
But if it did though, I would not give it to just Zeke. If I was going to give it to a rookie, or entertain the thought of giving it to a rookie, I'm making Zeke and Dak co-MVP because Zeke has been the best player, but I think I know Dak has more responsibility. He's the quarterback. He's got a lot more on his shoulders. He's got a lot more weight. And then he's carrying on that Romo right behind him, that monkey on his back. Yeah. Everyone's waiting. Is he going to fail? When's Romo going to come in there? So he's got that on him. So I think he's got more weight on his shoulders, and he's got more responsibility on himself, and it's making it so much easier for Zeke. Zeke coming in here as a rookie running back, and all the Cowboys are just like, make us great again. Please take us somewhere. And you know what? And
he's not great.
And he embraces that. But Dak coming in there, coming out of nowhere and just taking on, being like the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and taking on all that responsibility and doing a phenomenal job himself.
Yeah.
It's just making everything just so easy. And then of course the offensive line makes it even easier for them both to be able to do what they do. But
phenomenal. I'm loving it. I can't argue with that, Josh. I really can't.
But Rookie of the Year, Co. I think it should be Co. I think it should it should go to Dak and Zeke because they're both been that impressive, and it'll be something great to look at.
Do you think that will actually happen?
I think it should happen. No. But that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
You got a good point.
Rookie of the Year is gonna go to. It's gonna be a co-ownership of Zeke and Dak.
Yeah.
But no, neither one of them are gonna win the MVP. Not even Zeke.
Not even Zeke.
Even if he hits a 2,000-yard mark.
Yeah.
He won't. They won't give it to him.
I can't argue with that, man. And you make a good point because I'll say this: when last year, when we still have the same offensive line as last year, right? But obviously we're not doing as much as we did last year in the running game. And the big question is why, right? And I think it is because of Dak. And the reason is because people can't just stack the box. Now we have a quarterback that can throw the ball to Dez. Because last year we didn't have a quarterback that could throw the ball downfield. Let's get real here. We could not throw the ball. Everybody single covered Dez, and we saw that all year long. We're like, why is he not throwing at Dez? Because we didn't have a quarterback that could throw. So people could stack the box, load it up, and even though we had a pretty decent running attack, Darren McFadden had over 1,000 yards. Ezekiel Elliott already has over 1,000. And with Dak being able to throw the ball downfield, get it to Cole Beasley, get it to Bryce Butler, all these weapons, it makes it easier for Ezekiel Elliott, like you're saying, and allows these defenses not to know what we're going to do. So I think you got a good point, man. We have to go co-Rookie of the Year. I think could easily go to both. I wish they could win MVP. I really do.
Unfortunately.
But hey, give it another couple of years, they will, I think.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so coming up this week, this Sunday, we have two really good matchups. I was looking so forward to Josh Norman versus Dez, right?
Yep.
All right, so now this Sunday, what I'm really looking forward to is these two great matchups. You got Mike Evans versus Richard Sherman. All right?
Interesting.
And then you got Julio Jones versus Patrick Peterson. Now, one I'm way more excited than the other.
Well, let me guess.
But
Mike Evans.
So let's talk about Evans and Sherman, Julio, Peterson.
Yeah.
Who's going to win each matchup and which is the better matchup? Okay, so who's winning, Evans or Richard Sherman? I already have my answer. I'll let you know right now. Mike Evans.
You're in love with
Mike
him.
Evans is one of my 3 favorite players
now
in the NFL right now.
What sucks is that Richard Sherman does not travel. So that's the only thing that's going to help Mike Evans out. But I think while he's covering Mike Evans, it's going to be Richard Sherman. I think Richard Sherman will shut him down. But, God, I wish Seattle had Richard Sherman travel, which sucks. So we'll see what happens. I think Tampa Bay will move him around. But Richard Sherman has done it year in and year out.
Mike Evans all day. Julio versus Patrick Peterson. Who's winning that matchup?
Julio. There's no way. Like, don't get me wrong. Patrick Peterson will make some plays, but Julio and Matt Ryan are just on a different level, and they look phenomenal. Which
is the better matchup? Which is who you think is more intriguing and more better? Now, to me, like, I want to say, like, Sherman and Evans, because Sherman's been having a better year than Patrick Peterson is. Patrick Peterson not having the year that he usually has this year. So, but at the same time, Patrick Peterson will shadow Julio the entire game.
That's why I think that'll be a better matchup.
Whereas Sherman won't be shadowing Evans the entire game.
Yeah. I'm going Julio and Patrick just because of that fact. I'm going to get to watch them play the whole game against each other.
I'm still going to go Richard Sherman versus Mike Evans because I know for a fact this week we're going to see a hell of a catch, maybe even 2 or 3 by Mike Evans. While Richard Sherman's on him, that's just going to make the highlight reels for the whole next week.
Get out of here.
Mike Evans, Richard Sherman, the better matchup, the more intriguing matchup, the more fun matchup, and Mike Evans is going to win that one every single time.
What is with you and Mike Evans?
I don't know. God. But, so, there's that. And now getting into all of this coming Sunday's Week 12 games
Yep.
are our picks, as you see here on this list. To over here somewhere. I don't know.
I think it's on over here.
over here is our picks. You can see our picks, the list of games and who we think is going to win. And
were you different on only, 3?
I think so. And just 3 games we're different on. And let's talk about Cardinals and Falcons. Cardinals and Falcons we're different on. I got Cardinals. Sean, for some reason, looking at me like I'm a dumbass for picking the Cardinals over the Falcons. I know the Falcons have been doing good, but the Cardinals, I think at some point they're going to just make a push. They're going to be the team that we know they can be. They're all there. The pieces are there.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Falcons have a terrible defense still. Cardinals don't have a terrible defense. They still got their defensive playmakers. And offense, you got David Johnson, you got Larry Fitzgerald, you got a healthy Carson Palmer going into this week. I'm going Cardinals. I just think it's easy.
Oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with
easy matchup.
I don't see it. I've been saying that for the past 4 weeks for the Cardinals. The old Cardinals are coming back. They're going to make a comeback. And then they don't do shit. So I had lost all faith in them. And Falcons are going to come out. I think they were on a bye week last week. So they're coming out. They're getting a little bit healthier. Julio Jones, I think, had a couple ankle issues. So he's going to come back. Tevin Coleman, is he playing? Do we know? Or is he still out? I don't know. But either way, they still have Devontae Freeman. And I think Falcons are going to beat the Cardinals. Cardinals will keep it close because they still have a good offense. But I just don't trust their defense. And we'll see what happens.
David Johnson's going to have 3 touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald's going to have a touchdown. Julio's going to have 2.
I agree.
And
it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Cardinals. Now, getting into our upset picks.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about mine first. Chargers and Houston Texans. I got Chargers beating Houston. Here's why. I hate Houston. I can't steal Bill O'Brien's face.
Yeah.
He's a good coordinator. I don't think he's that great of a coach.
No.
I don't like the way he uses Lamar Miller. And Melvin Gordon is one of the best players this year in the NFL. Everyone's talking about Zeke. But there are some other players out there like Melvin Gordon. And I think they're just going to upset Houston. I just don't like Houston in this matchup. I like Houston to lose to Chargers.
We talked about the Lions just earlier about how they close out games. Chargers are the team that can't close out a game.
Right. But they have a better defense.
Houston has a better defense.
No. Chargers have a better defense than the Lions do.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter.
They have a good secondary, and
but they're not doing good though. They can't close out a game. They can't finish.
But that's on the. I think that's on the offense. See, that's on the offense, and Phillip Rivers. I trust in Phillip Rivers. I trust in Melvin Gordon. Yeah. I think that they just got to find that consistency, and I just think they're gonna find it this week against Houston.
I don't think so.
And on the defensive end. Chargers got a great secondary, though both of those corners, and Osweiler can't do shit. Lamar Miller, I don't like the way they use him. I just see an upset written all over this game.
I don't, because Houston's got a better defense, and they actually have a top defense in the league, and they will shut down the Chargers offense. But I can see what you're saying. It makes sense, but I still think Houston pulls it out.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Bills and Jags. Your upset pick of the week. You have...
I have the Jags.
Beating the Bills.
I feel like this is just an upset. I think the Jags, their offense has been doing better.
Why?
I don't know. I just looked at it and I was like, man, I just have a feeling the Jags are finally going to put it together. Allen Robinson, Blake Bortles, they've been playing pretty good lately. They've had a good connection. Mm-hmm. And we've seen the Bills' secondary look kind of iffy at points. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I just feel like this is prime for an upset. And the Jags, they are a better second half of the year team. And I think Ivory's going to run all over the Bills.
I was going to say, at least they might even have TJ Yeldon playing. I don't think he's going to play.
No, he won't.
And that might actually work in favor of the Jags because that guy just needs to be cut. He's terrible. They've tried. They give him every opportunity. He's terrible.
Feed the ball with Ivory.
Give him Ivory, and then go get yourself a front running back from the future. But no, you know what? Bills, I see the Bills winning. Their defense is really good. And, you know, I'm done. I picked the Jags so many times this year. I was like, just give them a chance. Fuck them. You
know, I was on the same boat 2-3 weeks ago, but I just have a feeling this is the one week that they will pull it out.
We'll see. Sorry. So those are the picks that we're different on. But we're also going to talk about a couple of other games. Now, we don't do this, but we're going to this week because these are going to be some really great games. They're going to be close. Yeah. Chiefs and Broncos. I almost wanted to pick the Broncos. We both picked Chiefs, but I almost went with the Broncos on this one because their defense is just that good. And Alex Smith, I just don't like the way the Chiefs have been playing offensively these past few weeks. They don't feed Spencer Ware the ball enough. They got to give him the ball more. They got to give him more involved. I don't know why. In the beginning of the season, they were giving him the ball a lot more in the passing game, and he was just destroying. What the fuck happened? Why did they stop doing that?
I don't know.
He does. He's a great talent. He's so much better than Charkandrick West. I don't even want to see him in the game, Charkandrick West. He shouldn't even be on the field. Spencer Ware should be on the field 24/7, and Alex Smith, and then Jeremy Maclin. Even if he plays, I actually, you know what? I think I might want to change my pick to Denver now. No. You
can't change it now.
Now, why is Denver going to lose?
They're going to lose because their offense is horrible. Trevor Siemian, they can't run the ball. Trevor Siemian's not throwing the ball down the field enough. When I'm looking at these teams, I'm looking at their defenses, right? Mm-hmm. Which team has more advantage? They both have great defenses, but which defense has more of advantage against the other team's offense? And I think the Chiefs. Marcus Peters didn't play last week, but I think he's playing this week. I'm gonna have to double check that. But if he's playing, he's one of the best corners in the game. They get turnovers like crazy, and I think they'll be good, man.
I really hope. I picked the Chiefs. We'll stick with that, and I hope they beat the Broncos.
I hope so too, but I'd say this. It's a playoff game. This is for probably one of the wild card spots, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited.
You know, what's also going to be hilarious, and what I'm looking forward to is watching the Eagles destroy the Packers. I'm going to... Bears are shit this year.
You just want to watch the Packers lose.
We'll be there again someday in contention. But until then,
be a while.
I find great joy in seeing the Packers get their asses whipped this year. And they're going to get their asses whipped this week against the Eagles.
I think so too. Even though Packers' offense has been one of the top offenses in the league, but their defense is horrible. Eagles have a good D-line that can get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see.
But Packers, they're not that... They can still come back and try to win that division.
You know, if they need to win out, pretty much they need to win out to have any chance to make the playoffs, even hit a wild card. So this game right here, also the Eagles have to win to be able to make the playoffs, make the wild card. So this is a very big playoff contention game. Both teams are fighting for a playoff spot. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Yep. So
it's good to see Carson Wentz against a shitty ass defense and see what he can do again.
Those are our thoughts on this week's games.
Yep.
We'll see if they turn out to be as exciting as we think they might be.
Yeah, they should.
Hopefully I win my fantasy playoffs for all those that are playing in fantasy football. Playoffs are right around the corner, starting after next week.
Yeah.
Usually. Some assholes start week 15, which is fucking just weird.
I don't know, I understand it.
But yeah, getting to the end of the season, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yep.
Coming up next is the second half of our show. See you then.
All right, guys, welcome back to the second half of our show. I know, right? So excited. Now,
what we talking about, Sean?
We're going to talk about something kind of shocking, which I did not see this coming until you told me about this. 2 days ago? Sammy Watkins.
Oh, Sammy Watkins. Yeah,
he's coming back.
Yeah,
but you
Sammy Watkins.
picked him up in fantasy, which
put on IR.
I'm mad.
Put on IR. Didn't think I would see him.
No.
And lo and behold, they're like, all of a sudden, he may practice this week. So I went ahead and picked him up on fantasy. And he back-to-back practices.
I think he's going to play.
And I think he's going to fucking play against the Jags.
What's going to be the impact, Josh? What's he going to do?
The impact of Sammy Watkins coming back and playing for the Bills, I think this is tremendous impact because, the Bills, they put a lot of investment into Sammy Watkins. He had a huge, bright future, and he's been riddled with injuries. And they just want to see this kid get back on the field as soon as possible and do something and just have something to look forward to for the next year. Even though they're not actually out of contention for the playoffs at all, they're still very much there. They're still very much there. And with that defense, they could very well make the playoffs, especially in the AFC, which is not as strong as the NFC. Nope. So there's a huge impact here. They could still, with Sammy Watkins coming back, he could be their savior for the Bills and lead them into the playoffs to go with that defense. So I think there's a lot on the line here, and it's very big that Sammy Watkins is back.
I have to agree. Now, I don't think he's going to make as big of an impact this game because it's going to take a little bit to get in football shape and get running, taking hits. That's true, but the Jags are going to win, remember? And now I think he's going to be good. He's a great deep threat for Tyrod Taylor. They have always had a connection. And I think it's going to be great. He's going to boost up that receiver core over there. And I think they're going to be good. I'm excited.
Yeah. So
he's always been a big playmaker. So.
Sammy Watkins, back. Very excited.
Awesome. Now we're going to kind of go down to college. Go to where I'm from. Where I drove down from, Austin. Go down to UT. I know you don't give a shit about college, but
I hate college.
We have to talk about it, man. I'm a big Longhorns fan. And they're firing Charlie Strong.
Yeah, then they fired that guy, the guy they called head coach because from what I heard, he didn't do much coaching. I mean, he was just a terrible, terrible coach. Shit, how long has he been there? Like fucking 5 years, and he's been terrible the whole time, basically.
I don't think he's been there that long. He's only been there like 4 years.
Why did he get fired like 3 years ago? Like
I don't know. Well,
fuck that guy.
See, in college, Josh, and this is what you got to understand. In college, you have...
Was he a good recruiter?
That's the thing. That's what you got to understand. In college, it's all about recruiting class, right? When you first take over a college team, you don't have your recruiting class. You don't have your players that you like. So they got to give you at least 3 to 4 years to kind of let you recruit your players and bring them in. Because remember, these players leave after a couple, 2-3 years. So you want to give him a chance to get his recruiting class. And don't get me wrong, our offenses look phenomenal. Foreman, the running back, is phenomenal. He's set UT records already. He's broken all the different running backs. I think our Earl Campbell, I think he broke his record. Phenomenal. Our true freshman quarterback has played phenomenal. It's just our defense is horrible. We used to always produce safeties and corners and all these defensive players, and we have no safeties, no corners, and it's looking horrible. I knew it was coming because in college you have to win. You have to produce wins. You can't just produce some good players. You got to win. You got to put it together. I saw it coming. It sucks. I really like Charlie Strong. He's a great person as a coach, and all the players love him. They say he's a great influence, but maybe just not a good football coach. Not a head coach. Maybe a better coordinator. I don't know. Kind of sucks.
All I know is you better not suck at football in Texas.
No.
On any level.
No, you're done. You're gone. Now let's talk about records. NBA record for most points in a quarter. First quarter, I think.
Yeah.
Kevin Love, 34 points. But.
And then?
6 points for the rest of the game.
6 points for the rest of the fucking game.
Total of 40 points for the whole game.
So, wait. Does that take away from the fact he finishes with 40 points?
Yeah.
But 34 that was the first quarter. And that's very impressive. And, but scoring second for the rest of the game, does that take away at all from what he did? And they still won. They won. Now, if they would have lost, I would have been giving him more shit for it. But it's still impressive. He hit 34 and a quarter. And that's great. But 6 points for the rest of the game? They must have rested him. I don't know, but Kevin Love, hey man, props to you. 34 in the first quarter. He made the made the rounds in the news circuit in sports. Someone's not talking about the Golden State Warriors, so it's good. It's good.
It's always awesome to put up a record like that. I'm surprised Steph Curry doesn't have that yet, or Klay Thompson, but it's kind of shocking. Only averaging 2 points the rest of the quarters is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah.
But it's shocking that he got 34 points because we've seen Kevin Love barely score anything with the Cavs.
Yeah.
He's really been more of a
just sometimes even an afterthought,
like a secondary player. He's not like the prime option there. So it's kind of surprising that he got 34 points, but props to him. But it kind of
he showed what he's capable of right there. Like
it just shows the Cavs don't utilize him.
You know.
Now, kind of sticking with basketball, and this is a very sore subject for me.
Why?
My Mavs.
Dallas Mavericks. Are they good this year?
They are.
Wait, hold on. They're
all right.
They got Harrison Barnes.
They're all
right. They got Bogut. I heard they were going to be like even a playoff contender this year.
Okay. They're good.
Oh, they only won 2 games this year.
Well, they're all right.
Dallas Mavericks. They're 2-11 at this moment. They are the worst team in the league, and that is a big deal because the Dallas Mavericks have been a 50-plus win team for, since what, going back to the year 2000? Like almost every single year.
Long time.
Almost every single year. I think there may have been a 1 year or 2 maybe.
Just
where
one.
They weren't. Just one.
because Dirk was out.
Maybe so. Just 1 year where they weren't a 50-plus winning team.
Yeah.
Made the playoffs countless times. They were always a contender, and now they're the worst team in the league. Ouch! And it's
rebuilding?
They're rebuild mode. Dirk, he's been injured.
Yeah.
I definitely believe this is going to be his last year. And they're transitioning to a new era, the era that's going to belong to Harrison Barnes. And they're going to continue that this year, at the end of this year, when they become a lottery team. The only question is, where in the top 5 are they going to finish? Where in the top 5 are they going to draft?
Yeah.
And right now, they look like they're going to have the number 1 overall pick. And
I hope so.
Going into this draft, there's 2 really good point guards that y'all could use. And now, out of the 2, you really like one of them.
Yeah.
You like Dennis Smith.
Dennis Smith Jr. I've looked at this kid's highlights. I was showing you some of these highlights. I'm kind of hoping we just tank the whole season so we can get the number 1 pick because he looks phenomenal. And the other guy was Markelle.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, Markelle Fultz. He looks good too. He's a true freshman. Dennis is a junior from NC State, and I was watching his highlights, man. I don't really watch a lot of college basketball, but he reminds me a lot of Russell Westbrook in a style. Like he's tax, he's electric, he's quick, and I'm excited. We've never had a good point guard like that. Darren Williams, he's way out of his prime. Jason Kidd, he was just a passer, and he was a good defender, but he's not flashy.
He was old, too.
Yeah, he was old when we won that championship. But I think we need to get someone that keeps up with Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook and Damian Lillard. And this guy, I think, can. He looks great. He's a junior. He's not a freshman, so he's stayed in college. He's learned the fundamentals. I think Rick Carlisle will love him, but we'll see. I don't know. It depends on how we finish.
We'll see.
So I'm excited. Now, I think we're pretty much done with most of the sports topics.
That's
now
enough of the sports.
Well, this could be sports. Heroes and villains.
Heroes and villains. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
That could be sports.
My hero's a sports guy.
Yeah. Who is it?
Antonio Brown. For fantasy purposes. You know, the guy who's always playing, he had 4 players playing on all throughout Thursday. Yeah. And combined, they got him 27 points, and that included Dez. I thought I was in trouble after having Eric Ebron playing in the first game and having nothing.
That was so entertaining.
I was like, God. Come on. I was like, please, Antonio Brown, please score 30 points to, fucking get me a save here. And he got 29.5. I'm not too mad about that, but Antonio Brown, my hero.
He's your hero. My hero will go to Dez, and apart from not just this most recent Thursday game, but last week also against the Steelers, he did phenomenal. And and I got to give him up because he played a day after his father passed away, which is always tough and emotional for a player. And he's my hero, man. Someone that could come out and show up, keep his emotions in check. That whole Steelers game, I know he was really emotional during this game, but that's just because he's facing Josh Norman. But I got to say, he's my hero, man. He's playing phenomenal. Him and Dak are getting on the same page, and I'm excited. Excited what to come.
Yeah.
Now, villain. Who's the asshole?
Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell. Because...
oh, man. Yeah.
Jim Caldwell was offensive coordinator, whoever the fuck's decision it was to only have to draw up one play for Eric Ebron. Antonio Brown was my hero in fantasy, and Eric Ebron got me a goose egg. And, I'm not mad at him because he only had the one target. So I'm mad at Matthew Stafford. I'm mad at Jim Caldwell. Fuck, man. If I fucking lose by a few points, I'm going to be fucking mad. So, yeah. Detroit Lions.
I'm going to laugh. And this will be awesome.
Yeah. That's what I'm pissed off about right now. That's what really pissed me off this past week.
It was very entertaining seeing you pissed off. But I was just trying not to be killed.
Who's your villain?
My villain is not a sports person. It's actually more a general. And it's all these fucking drivers during Black Friday.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, dude. Today, Friday, we decided to go Pokemon hunting. Pokemon Go is awesome. Since we're both in town, or I was in town, we're both together, we're like, let's go Pokemon hunting. And, I don't think we thought this one through. We totally kind of forgot it was Black Friday. And, God, there's so many cars everywhere, so many families, and traffic was a bitch. And, goodness gracious. And, It's all good. I'm going to have to deal with that traffic going back home. I dealt with a little bit coming here. Not really Black Friday shoppers, but people traveling. So those are my villains. I already know I'm going to get cut off like 10 times. I'm probably going to cuss people out like I did today. And it's going to be interesting. But that's my villain.
Okay.
Now.
Terrible people.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Non-sports related, Josh. What do you got planned this weekend?
Not that I have something planned, but something that I've already watched. And I want to make a recommendation to anyone who's listening to this. I saw the movie Arrival. We saw it together, actually.
Yes.
Us and my girlfriend, we saw Arrival.
It's a great movie.
And it was really, really good.
Yep.
It was very thought-provoking. Yep. It really made you think. And now, I have to say, anybody who is going to go see this movie, they don't know much about it. And if you're looking for the typical sci-fi movie, which is where you're going to have your head faced in a bucket of popcorn, and you're gonna see some action, and Will Smith is gonna come flying in and shooting, and there's monsters, and nothing makes any sense, but everything just like yelling at you, and it's just all fun. No, that's not gonna happen.
That's not the movie.
It's not the alien. There's aliens in this movie, but it's not so much about the aliens as it is about the main character, Amy Adams, who does a phenomenal job in this movie.
She's phenomenal.
And
I like her as an actress.
I haven't seen a sci-fi movie done this way in a very long time. So definitely go check it out. You will not be disappointed, so long as you're not expecting a J.J. Abrams type of sci-fi.
If you're looking for guns blazing, fighting the aliens, this is not the movie for you. But it's a phenomenal movie.
Not Independence Day Part 2.
God, it's phenomenal. It looked phenomenal and didn't disappoint. And it was great ratings, and it did not disappoint, dude. I'm excited.
What about you?
Non-sports related? I don't even know. Driving back to Austin?
That's going to be fun for you? That's entertaining?
And that's not entertaining. That's going to be stressful, though. No, I'm actually thinking about...
Is there anything you looking forward to watching on TV, or you have watched? Didn't you start the season Turn?
Oh, yeah.
The show Turn?
How's that?
How's that?
That was actually pretty interesting. I'm a big fan.
I have it queued on my Netflix.
You need to watch
I haven't started yet.
First 2 seasons are on Netflix. Yeah. And I kind of want to start watching the season 3. I'm guessing it's airing right now. I'm glad you brought that up. My mind just went blank when we got to this topic, so you saved me. No, it's a great show. I'm a big history buff. Anything with especially around the American Revolution, all that stuff. Pretty much any history is phenomenal to me. And it's a good show. It's interesting. I think it's based off a book. if I recall correctly. So
Books,
maybe, I don't know. But I think I saw somewhere on the credits about that. But it's an AMC show, which we all know AMC does great shows. Hell on Wheels, Walking Dead. So they've made some great shows, and that's why I gave it a shot, and it didn't disappoint. I'm intrigued to watch what comes next, so I'm excited. Last but not least, shout-outs, Josh. Who's your shout-out?
Not my dad. It was Thanksgiving this past weekend, or Thursday.
Yesterday.
And, he made some damn good food. He made a damn good turkey.
That was good. I might go downstairs and get some leftovers after this.
It was so good. And I'm going to continue to eat some more food. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good shout-out. 2 weeks in a row, I think he's gotten a shout-out.
I think so.
Wow. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Now, my shout-out is going to go to you. It was awesome coming down here and spending Thanksgiving, having some great food from your dad. So it kind of correlates with that.
Yeah.
It was fun watching football together. Not too much anger besides Eric Ebron. Josh didn't throw anything or break anything this week. Not this week, but it was good, man. It was a good time, relaxing, chill, simple, and that's what I like on holidays. Just something, just to relax and hang out. So shout out to you, Josh, for having me over. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys. That's it.
That does it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Shove it down people's throats. Because we're awesome. And
mainly me.
Thanks for watching. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
Later.
When he's back in Austin. And
we go back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See you.